Good morning, everyone. I'm Mang, and I'm here with...
I'm Rik Hepworth, and I'm really excited to do this session, man. I've done what you asked. I've done my homework. I've gone through all of the Azure sessions from yesterday and today, because you're doing the back end of the week, right?
That is correct, hopefully. I mean, Rik, thank you so much for doing this. Because I went through the session catalog, and there are over 800 Azure sessions which I'm interested in, and I have absolutely no idea which ones I should attend. So, give me your insights.
So, I tell you what I've done. I've looked at the sessions from yesterday and pulled out a couple that I think give a really good overview or are interesting. And I've gone through some of the ones for today. And if people watch this soon enough, they might be able to run to the ones today. But otherwise, all of this is on demand on the MyIgnite site, so you can absolutely watch these and follow on at home. So from yesterday, I'm sure you'll agree this one, Corey Sanders was doing an Azure infrastructure session. Corey Sanders is an amazing presenter. He's a really electric guy, and I bet that would be a really good one. And also the other one that I found, very good friend of mine, Claude Remillard, who used to work for the VSTS team. He's in charge of Azure Dev Test Labs. He was doing a really great session about provisioning and managing Azure resources using Azure Lab Services, which is a great way of managing your training labs, your test labs, putting some budgets on there, and that'll be really, really useful if you're the kind of sort of project manager managing your team, or you do your internal IT training, that kind of stuff.
That's one of the sessions which I'm actually very interested in. When was that?
So that was yesterday, and
it was
I
already.
knew you'd ask me when, and I forgot to write the time down for that. It's like I prepared it.
But we can look at the one up in the session catalog later, right?
We can. What isn't obvious in the session catalog as a tip, if you know the name of the speaker, search for their surname and it'll find their sessions. Don't search for their first name, because there's lots of Jeffs and Alexes.
And Claude's even.
Yeah, and a couple of Ricks. Today... Oh man, there's so many sessions. I mean, I started looking through this list at 7 o'clock and I hadn't finished when you came in for us to film. So I've picked out sessions on Azure AD, Azure Stack, networking. So let's spin from the top and you see what you think. 9 a.m. this morning, Alex Simons was doing an Azure AD roadmap. Identity is really important, right? So
it is. After all, it's the foundation of all Azure.
Absolutely. So that's a really great one to watch. And then, as you know, because you mock me all the time for it, I'm a big fan of Azure Stack.
Well, somebody has to have its fans, right?
Uh-huh.
It's a great product, I have to admit.
So Natalia, I cannot pronounce her surname, Makavicius, maybe, at 10:45 did an Azure Stack overview and roadmap. Azure Stack's a great solution if you absolutely have to have some of your cloud resources on-prem, but you want to be cloud consistent, so that's worthwhile. And
Rick,
then,
I could probably spell that name, but your handwriting, oh my god. Come on, no.
How can they not read that handwriting, guys? Getting a bit deeper then, 11:30, Albert Greenburn is doing an Azure Networking Internals, and that sounded really interesting, because getting deep dive into how the thing works, just that sort of ticked all the boxes for me.
Rick, did you see at the diversity booth the Networking Ninja pins they have?
I did.
That's a very fun thing. So I think you should use one of those pins.
So Magnus picked one up, and I said, "Oh, that's great. You can tell me about IPv6." And he went, "No, not that kind of networking. It's because I'm social, man."
What else do we have?
What else do we have? So Mark Fussell is doing a Service Fabric overview, and obviously, if you want to do microservices, I know you like Service Fabric, don't you, Alex? So
I do, and actually, I have a theater session tomorrow on Service Fabric Mesh, which is going to be terrific.
Well, there you go. So if you want to know about Service Fabric, Alex is where, when?
Tomorrow, theater. Have no idea, but you guys should look it up.
Okay, so search for Mang, M-A-N-G, on the session builder. You heard it here first, folks. Then, I have been waiting for this for a long time. Christina Compi is scheduled at 2 o'clock to talk about what's new in Azure App Services Networking. Now, you remember that preview they gave us at Summit. There's some really exciting stuff coming in, and I'm really hoping that she's going to announce a preview maybe of this, but certainly talk about what they've got in mind. Absolutely great. And then, completely switching gears, Andrew Westgarth, who's a really good friend of mine, is going to be talking about event-driven architecture using functions in Cosmos DB. Andrew's a fairly high-ranking PM on the App Services team, and he's responsible for containers on App Services.
Awesome.
So expect that to be fairly container-heavy as well as functions-heavy.
Awesome.
And then, last but not least, ending as I finished, I found another Corey Sanders session. So Corey Sanders at 4 o'clock is actually going to be on the mechanics stage, which is just behind us here in the Community Reporter Lounge. And I think you and I are both then interviewing him right by the MVP stand just across there. So that'll be real exciting. Come and find us. Okay? So what have you found then, man?
No, I just found out that I have no idea when my theater session is tomorrow, which is this kind of disturbing. I'll give you that. I'm looking forward to the Corey Sander interview. I mean, all the Corey Sander energy in between us.
Yeah, he's a great guy. He's totally electric. He bounces around the place, but he really knows his stuff about what's available in compute, doesn't he? Yes. So, okay, that homework that you said you do that you haven't done then, so tips for people. If you were looking for Azure sessions, you wanted to go through the session builder, how would you sort of go about it? Would you search for technologies? Would you just... So I tried searching for Azure. I wouldn't do that. Don't
search for Azure. That's for sure. One tip I have here, there's a small pipe icon, which is obviously stands for a filter. Use that filter because you can filter down by the technology, by the interest of area. You can filter down by the level of expertise you expect from that particular session. You can also search, just like you mentioned, by the last name or the first name of the speaker. So if you know who you're looking for, or you expect that somebody would deliver a particular session, you're looking for a particular product group manager, search for that one as well. That usually works very well for me.
Okay, so I know that you have to run off now, Alex, because you've got another interview in like 15 minutes, isn't it? So
pretty much.
Shall we wrap and say thanks to everybody?
Yes, we shall. Thank you. See you soon.
Thanks very much.